her face and everything. Wow.
That is adorable.
Kathy?
Thank you.
Is Kathy, are you planning on pulling a surprise Indian routine about halfway through this, or you just come as straightforward Kathy West this week?
I had to come as straightforward Kathy West. I had to call. I've been in the middle of Thanksgiving drama. Who's coming, who's not.
We're going to talk about that if we have a chance at the end. I want to turn this a little towards the end into a conversation of thanks and gratitude and what we're all grateful for, because this may be our only chance to express gratitude to each other at least, and find out who's going home and who's staying put. I'm on the fence about that issue myself, so would love to know what you all are planning to do.
Well, hi everyone. Thank you for being here. We're excited to have the folks with Auberge back. They have such beautiful properties, and this one we have a slightly different thing going on today, and so we're happy to see you back, and we're also happy to see everyone who is brand new with us. I'm Whitney Bradley with Retreats Resources. My partner Carol Owen is on the call as well as the
Newport.
lovely people with Auberge
And our new team member.
And I was going to say Marina's here. Marina O'Leary is our new team member, who's going to be in what would you call it? Customer service and sales, basically. So she's your customer representative and keeping all of our clients happy and things. And if you're new to us, we are located in the Southeast, and historically our showcases have run through the Southeast in a person-to-person kind of format. But as we go virtual, we're about to take on much of the country. So we're about to head out into other places, and we're excited that you're all here as part of that expansion. Let me just do a couple of little things of housekeeping. If you're not speaking, please keep yourself muted. We are recording this to the cloud, and after this call, we will be putting this on our website, and it will live there in perpetuity. So if you want to see any of our other recordings, they're there. And then if you have any questions for Gale or Elaine, please put them in the chat box, and I will be moderating those at the end so that everyone's questions are answered. All right, and I'm going to turn it over to Carol.
Very good. Well, hello, everybody. Gosh, thank you for coming today, and thank you for the fantastic effort. Wow, I see Kevin. Hi, and Randy. You know, you guys always have these great backdrops. Yeah, before we get started, I'd like for those of you who are dressed up as Kelly on the call yet. You see Kelly? I don't see her. We've got two things going on today in terms of costumes and being prepared. We have some of you dressed up in perfect Thanksgiving form, kind of remembering those skits when we were little about the Pilgrims and the Indians. But we also wanted to celebrate Thanksgiving in a deeper, more meaningful way. And so what we have done is we have Kelly Mack on today, who will be awarding those of you who did dress up. One of you will go home with a pair of Maui Jims. But our package, which was very generously donated by Gale McClurkan and Elaine Clark, is a 2-night stay at one of their 3 gorgeous hotels. And for that, we're going to operate this week as a lottery. I'd like to introduce you to Doc Hendley, who is the founder of Wine to Water and a CNN hero. I was visiting with him recently and learned that he's doing some work in the Navajo Nation and that there's a great need there for safe water, just like there is in the developing world. And so we're going to operate a lottery today for anyone who's willing to make a donation for a filter for a family. And how it's going to work is we're going to ask you to put your name and email address in the chat box. Carrie Mace, who supports Doc, wave hi, Carrie, if you're on the screen. Carrie Mace is going to write your name down, and we're going to put your name in a hat. For every donation that you make, you'll get 1 opportunity to win Elaine's glorious 2-night stay with breakfast in one of these great, beautiful inns. And then Carrie will follow up with you to collect on the pledge that you're going to make today. So without any further ado, please welcome Doc Hendley with Wine to Water, our dear friend, and he's going to share with you some exciting new projects that he's working on. Doc?
Yeah, thank you, Carol. Retreats team, I'm excited to be here. Gale, Elaine, I can't say thank you enough for donating the package so that we can help support the new initiatives I'm getting ready to tell you about today. That we just couldn't be more excited. Before I tell you about some of these fun new programs, some of you may be new to Wine to Water, so I'm just going to give you a quick, just little backdrop of who we are as an organization. We've been around for the last 17 years now. I founded the organization. I had the idea back in December 2003. I won't get into that long, weird, crazy story. It takes a lot of different ups and downs and lefts and rights. But basically, who we are as an organization is we view ourselves as a bunch of very passionate, but also very regular, ordinary, everyday people that just happen to think that when we come together, we can change the world. We're not a group of people made up of a bunch of Brad Pitts and Angelina Jolies. We don't have any Hollywood movie stars on our roster. None of us, we're former NFL or NBA athletes. We don't have Bill Gates, foundation. We're just regular people. And a lot of us came from the service industry, and we believe we can change the world. And over the last 17 years, our team has been doing an amazing job. We've recently hit 1 million people that we've been able to reach globally with clean drinking water, 45 plus different countries that we've worked in. We use technologies generally where we work that are made by local people using local materials. We're really big into creating jobs in the countries that we're working in. So if we're using water filters in Tanzania, we want the filters to be made in Tanzania by Tanzanian people using Tanzanian materials. And so that's a really big part of our DNA and who we are and why we love to do what we do. And this year has been a very big change for everyone, obviously, but especially us as an organization. We began to get involved with different types of programming that we never thought we would. And to give you an example, we've worked in the sector what's called WASH, water, sanitation, and hygiene. That's kind of our focus. We focus on work in schools. We'll bring a school a well or a water filter, but we'll also redo their whole bathroom system to make sure they have clean places to use the bathroom, things like that. So water, sanitation, hygiene is what we've done for years. And if you'd asked me in January of this year, hey, do you think you'll ever get involved with feeding people and providing food for people? I would have been like, no, I don't think we'll do that. We're a water organization. But when COVID hit, I can remember very specifically, March 17th is when it got really crazy for us in our area, because I remember because it's St. Patty's Day, my favorite holiday of the year. St. Patty's Day, we get wind that all the restaurants and bars in North Carolina are going to have to shut down. My brother, who is the owner operator of a bar here in our town, came to me like in tears. He's like, I had to lay off 50 people today, 50. Some of them are single moms trying to make ends meet and they just live paycheck to paycheck. Some of them are students that use this money to help pay off student loans. Like, and what are they going to do? Not just to pay their rent. What are they going to do when it's to put food on the table? And so together we decided, you know what, we've never done anything like this before, but why don't we bring this out to all the service industry people in our Southeastern kind of community that we're in and say, we want to provide food and meals to people, and not just any meals, not beanie weenies and hot dogs. We want to provide good food, whether it's fresh fruits and vegetables and fresh baked bread. And so we opened it up that very first week to anyone that's requesting a meal. We're not going to turn you away at all. And we're going to package boxes full of 40 meals in each box. That first week, we got a request for 16,000 meals of all the people just in our little area that lost their jobs. And we were able to meet every single one of those needs and meals. And now to date, we're getting into that about 160, 170,000 meals that we've been able to provide. And that's not what I ever thought we would be doing. But I'm glad we're doing it now. I'm glad that it's part of who we are, that community, the service industry, the hospitality industry is what has made our organization have the opportunity to reach 1 million people that we reached this year. And so it's our opportunity to kind of give back to those folks that had lost their jobs and didn't know how they were going to put food on the table. And so what are the cool things that we're going to talk about today? We're going to give you 2 opportunities. Another exciting opportunity, I'm going to go back to the food box program in just a minute. Another exciting opportunity that we had come up just literally like in the last handful of weeks. I was connected with a leader in the Navajo Nation. Her name's Janine Yazzie. And she was talking about these different communities, 5 specifically that she was mentioning to me, that are in these like kind of no man's lands that are in between 2 different borders of 2 different tribes. And because they're disputed lands, Nobody wants to put money into them. No government wants to put money into them because they're arguing over who owns what land. So they've been forgotten. So literally there's communities that to this day, since the Navajo Nation began years and years and years ago, that still don't have any running water in their home. They don't have a sink to go turn on and turn the tap. They don't have a toilet, a bathroom, a shower, zero running water in these communities. And I'm kind of shocked. She's like, do you think Wine to Water can help? I'm like, absolutely, we can help. It's going to be a little while before we can get the machines out and the water tanks up and the holistic programming that we do to create an entire running water system. So in the meantime, it may take, 6 months, a year to do all that. Is there anything that you need right now, today, for your community? And she said, well, yes, we've sourced 500 families that are drinking water right now in their homes that have really young children that have water with arsenic, with lead, and some of them, unfortunately, even have uranium contamination in the water. And she asked, do you have anything that can help with that? And I'm like, yes, we do. We have a specific filter that can filter out all those poisons and those contaminants. Would you like for me to send 500 of those? And we didn't know how we were going to fund it. We just kind of operated on faith that, you know what, if we are obedient, we just try to do what we feel like we're supposed to do, the money will come. So we've sent 500 filters over to the Navajo Nation. They landed last week and now are being distributed out to these really high risk households. And that's one of the opportunities we're going to have today. So as Carol mentioned, you can pick one of two and you can do mixes and matches. But the fun thing that we're going to do today is that you can support a filter, which costs about $50. So a donation of $50 to provide a filter for someone in the Navajo Nation, for an entire family in the Navajo Nation. And then the other opportunity that you can do as well is as we're packaging these food boxes, next week, we're putting together special ones for Thanksgiving, not just for people that don't have the ability to put food on their table, but also people here in the Southeast region where we live that aren't going to be able to provide a Thanksgiving meal with a nice turkey and all the other fun stuff, that just don't have that luxury. So we're building out as many as we can get donations for those Thanksgiving meal boxes. They'll have the Thanksgiving dinner in the box as well as 40 meals. So it'll be the meals for a week, including enough for a Thanksgiving dinner. And that box is about $70 for the whole week's worth of meals for a family with a Thanksgiving meal. So if you would like to donate to help a family have a week's worth of meals and a Thanksgiving dinner, that one is a $70 donation, and it'll go right to the Thanksgiving program, the meal program, or the $50 filter program. So as Carol mentioned, if you want to put in the chat later, I don't know if we're going to be doing that now or kind of throughout the day.
So you've already done very well. So let's get everybody drunk and keep on going.
Oh, awesome. So if you want to do a filter, we'll write down your name and I'm going to put it up and put it in the drawing. If you do 2 filters, you get 2 times your name in there. If you do 2 filters in a food box, we'll do 3. So y'all have fun with it. Love you guys. Carol, thank you for letting us have fun with this. I can't wait at the end to kind of let everybody know what all we were able to do. But then we'll also respond next week and tell you some stories about the meals that you were able to provide and some of the families that were able to get those. It'll be exciting to follow up with y'all on that. So guys, thank y'all so much. I can't wait to watch. It's gonna be awesome.
Thank you so much, Doc. We just love our partnership with you. And if there's ever a time when there are people in need, but much to be grateful for, it's right now. And we are just super grateful for you. So thank you very much. And without further ado, and secondly, y'all, thank you so much. I'm seeing lots of folks moved to support Wine to Water's work. So just keep that up. If you have a cocktail, that might help. And feel free while the girls are talking to go ahead and put those donations and that opportunity in the chat box. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our dear friend, Gale McClurkan, who we have worked with several times already in this series. Gale has so many fabulous properties in her Auberge collection that I just feel like she is a wealth of information and just abundant ideas for places that we can travel virtually while we wait out this COVID period. So I would like to welcome her back, and she will introduce you to our lovely partner up in New England, Elaine Clark, who was going to talk with us about and share with us the opportunity to celebrate the Thanksgiving holiday in New England at her charming collection of small hotels and inns. So Gale, take it away.
Thank you, Carol. And of course, leave it to Carol to come up with this great partnership around Thanksgiving to do this. So I want to thank you for doing that. And thank you, Doc, for coming on. It's wonderful opportunity. And we are just thankful to be here. And like Carol said, there's something that keeps me going when I get on. I always put a smile on my face, and to see these costumes, I try to explain it to people and you just don't get it unless you've seen it. So
That's
Elaine,
sure.
this is what I was trying to explain to you. Now you get it, right? I do. I love it.
Show and tell. Now that Kelly's here, we'll be doing some show and tell on the costumes, people. So don't be shy. When the ladies wrap up, we're going to be calling on you. Go ahead.
So just like she said with COVID, got a little few changes going on. So I'm going to have Whitney go live. We've got a welcome from our general manager at the White Barn Inn. So I want to play that for you guys real quickly before we get started.
Good afternoon and welcome to the White Barn Inn. My name is Daniel Braun and I have the pleasure and honor of being the general manager of this little gem here in Kennebunk, Maine. I am speaking to you today from our 150-year-old barn, which hosts our 5-star restaurant. Over my shoulder you can see our seasonal display that currently boosts a 1,278-pound pumpkin grown by Al, a local pumpkin grower. Apart from the fine dining restaurant, which has been known in New England for over 40 years of being one of the best dining spots, we also have the Little Barn, our casual restaurant, a 4-treatment room spa, and 27 beautifully appointed guest rooms. We just underwent a renovation this spring, led by the designer Jenny Wolf from New York. The small, intimate size of our hotel really allows us to customize stays for leisure and group guests alike. We can really make sure that everybody gets to experience it in the way that they best like. I just wanted to take a moment to thank you for the opportunity to speak to you today, and on behalf of the White Barn Inn team, we look forward to welcoming you soon. Thank you.
So when COVID throws you a wrench, you make a little change. So we were going to have Elaine in front of the pumpkin today, and I think Elaine wins the award for the most COVID tests ever taken possible to travel to the 3 different hotels. So I just want to take this time to introduce you to Elaine, and she is going to share with you our 3 gems in the Northeast and the New England area. And she is a New Englander as well, so she has a special place in her heart for these locations as well. And you can take it over, Elaine.
Thank you, Gail. Can you all see me? Daniel's just truly amazing. First, I'd like to welcome you for everyone on this call to Forefathers from Maine to Connecticut to Rhode Island. Let's get cozy. I'm Elaine. I represent the White Barn Inn in Kennebunk, Maine, the Vanderbilt Hotel in Newport, Rhode Island, and the Mayflower Inn Spa in Washington, Connecticut. All 3 resorts are located in beautiful New England and are the perfect settings and destinations to share with you a week before Thanksgiving. So Ernest Hemingway said, "You are able to tell a story in 5 words." Today, I will share with you 5 words that describe each of our resorts. Each word will tell you a story, and I hope to capture the feeling and sense of place for each of these resorts. Today, I would like to share with you how incredibly special and unique all of these New England resorts are. So are you ready? Let me see if I can present this now. So welcome. So the first word I have is iconic. The White Barn Inn is iconic and has been known for its culinary excellence. People come to the White Barn honestly just for the dining experience. That's how we were put on the map. We say the White Barn is for culinary aficionados. The White Barn is just located 90 minutes from Boston or 45 minutes south of Portland. Why is it doing that? Huntress. So this past March 2020, our guest rooms were newly designed by Huntress Jenny Wolf. The rooms offer a sophisticated feeling of coastal Maine. We have a total of 27 guest rooms, which include 4 cottages located 0.2 of a mile from the Maine Inn on the Kennebunk River. Each cottage has its own patio, as well as a wood-burning fireplace, a cozy retreat after a day exploring the area. So this is the Friendship Cottage. This is one of the cottages that's right on the Kennebunk River. And this is actually the outside patio. So when you look outside that cottage with all of those windows, you just see water and the tide kind of comes in and goes out. It's really quite amazing. Lobster. This is Matthew Padilla, our executive chef. Guests cannot wait to dine at the White Barn restaurant. The barn, as you saw from Daniel, he was sitting when he filmed that this morning, is in a 150-year-old barn. I think Carol is there too with him.
Yes, I'm here right now.
Yes, I love it. The chef's 6-course lobster tasting is not to be missed.
Yes, sign me up for that.
Learn how to mix a signature cocktail with our F&B director, Hugo. I recently learned how to make the Lion's Table. It's a bourbon cocktail with a perfect combination of cinnamon, nutmeg from the allspice dram and has deep vanilla and maple flavors. I think that's what you're drinking, isn't it, Carol?
I have a vanilla flavored old fashioned. It just seemed to work with the theme today.
I will attempt to make this for my guests at Thanksgiving.
It looked yummy. There we are.
Excuse me, wait. Oh, this is our 200-year-old barn, which makes the White Barn so famous. Each season, whoops, this window is dressed and is the perfect backdrop for an incredible culinary journey. So this is a springtime photo. You never know who you will see at the famous barn. Local celebrities and the 43rd president have homes in the area, so it is not uncommon to get a special peek. Tide. The smell of salt air surrounds you in this historic and quaint seaport town. Just a half a mile from the resort, you can bike to beautiful Gooch Beach, go whale watching, or have a picnic along the Kennebunk River. When you think of the White Barn, think of your guests in a private, luxurious home all to themselves. Curate. Recently, we added a curator of experiences to our New England resorts. This is a designated person who designs and creates experiences for our guests and groups that are unique and indigenous to the area. This winter, groups will be able to experience an authentic dog sledding and craft your own snowman. Be a lobsterman for a day. Groups this past summer joined a local captain on a lobster boat and experienced how to catch a lobster utilizing lobster traps. They enjoyed an afternoon on the water and then came back to the resort and experienced an authentic lobster bake over the rocks with Chef Matt. Craft cocktails, the art of chocolate making, cycling with our general manager, Daniel, who you just met, and visiting local gin and whiskey distilleries. The barn will be exclusive, private, and highly personalized for your groups in this intimate setting. Off to the Mayflower, country home. When you think of the Mayflower Inn and Spa, country home is the word that comes to mind. Located on 58 private acres and less than 2 hours from New York City, the Mayflower is the perfect destination for a company retreat or high-level incentive. It is incredible the amount of executive meetings and private buyouts that we have been very successful since we opened in June. We have learned during this time that people want to see each other, they want to meet with one another, and they want to be that all within a safe bubble-like environment. The Mayflower is the perfect location for this type of meeting. Shakespeare. Imagine your yoga session in our Shakespearean garden. We also did beer pong there just for a good laugh. Experience a group night hike with your peers to enliven your senses, or join us for a harvest bonfire with an acoustic guitar player singing by the fireside. The resort provides so many different outdoor locations or unique activities for your receptions and dinners. I like to share this map because it encompasses the 58 acres. So it truly, I know people are loving to be outdoors right now. So with the 58 acres, you have different gardens, many different lawns, many different cottages, that can just be very private and exclusive to your guests. Whimsical. Reimagined Rooms by Celery Kimball. The resort just completed a renovation of our guest rooms in public areas. Celery designed each guest room to be a respite from the ordinary. Everywhere you look, there is an intricate detail and something beautiful to look at. The Mayflower is playful and comfortable, but still true to its New England heritage. The wicker porch, the tap room, the library, the parlor, the garden room, they're all indoor locations for your groups to gather privately and in an intimate setting. Shrubs. So with the change in our restaurant scene in New York, I thought Auberge was very clever that they developed, especially for the Mayflower, a chef in residence program. We had one chef, Victoria, this summer, but right now we have Chef April Bloomfield, who has joined us in August and will stay with us through 2021. Guests are drawn to the Mayflower and have come to see Chef April and to enjoy her award-winning food. Every day you can join us in the parlor to enjoy our hot spice cider. The moment you walk into the inn, you are enveloped in the smell of vanilla and cinnamon. I recently had a buyout at the resort in October for 8 days. Chef April led so many personal and private dinners that she would come out and speak to the guests, but she also she led a pie making class with the group. It was incredibly engaging and a hands-on experience. This Thanksgiving, Chef April is giving back to the community with her apple pies. I almost said April pies. 50% of the proceeds going back to a local shelter. We are also having a gratitude hike in Thanksgiving, which is something to certainly celebrate on Thanksgiving morning. Senses. The Spa and Wellness Center is one of the focal points of the property. It includes a 20,000 square foot spa along with an indoor pool and fitness classes. I want to share there will be an exciting announcement regarding a new partnership very soon with the spa. It is still top secret, but I will make sure you all receive the information as soon as it is announced. It should come out the week of December 9th. We have a wonderful experience to enjoy throughout late fall into the winter. Start your day with a hike along the Mayflower Mountain, a 1-mile trail that leads you to the spa. Learn how to fence, trail bike, snowshoe, or ice skate on our pond. Guests can spend the day antiquing or visit boutiques in nearby New Preston or Woodbury. Hike through one of our nearby preserves. We can always suggest trails for any level of a hiker. Stop by Mine Hill, a local distillery, 10 minutes from the resort, or Spring Hill Winery, which has a brand new tasting room. Every night we light the fire pits across the Shakespeare lawn where your best guests can enjoy a specialty cocktail and savory bites before their dinner or return after dinner for an aperitif and desserts wrapped up in a blanket and telling stories across the crackling fire. I'd love to share this photo as it is a wedding. And as you know, we've all been generally blessed with the small micro weddings. So this is a great shot of the bride and groom in our library.
Wow.
Historic. The Vanderbilt is a historic mansion dating from 1909, originally built and owned by the illustrious Vanderbilt family. Ideally located from the bustling Thames Street in the heart of the picturesque town of Newport. Gilded. Take a tour of the historic mansions in an antique car. Enjoy a master cocktail class in our snooker room. Discover the art of grilling on our garden patio and enjoy a reception on our rooftop overlooking Newport Harbor. Cornelius. So I'd love to share that Cornelius Vanderbilt originally built the Vanderbilt mansion for his mistress, Elise. This is our living room, and above the fireplace has her name. Our 33 rooms are very spacious. Most of the guest rooms are large suites with pull-out sofas and several connecting options, making it a perfect hotel for large groups. Shuck yeah. Every afternoon at 5 o'clock, cocktails and an oyster shucking experience begins. Guests and groups learn how to shuck an oyster and learn the art of eating an oyster. Other experiences that must be tried are the art of the spice. Guests will learn about the spice trade in the Northeast while sipping a drink made from one of these spices, or pick your desired space and experience a cooking class with our chef and cook your group's dinner with your favorite spice. My favorite experience, the art of scrimshaw. You'll learn from a scrimshaw master the ancient tradition of whalers, creating art, and make your own token piece from an old ivory piano key. Offsite experiences, you have to get out on the water, sailing on one of America's Cup racing boats. It's a must for Newport. So flirtatious and naughty. What is so special about the Vanderbilt is this private mansion provides many unique locations for incredibly special events. Breakfast in the conservatory, private lunch on the garden terrace, the snooker room, the parlor, the victory room, and lastly, the rooftop makes all this an incredible venue for destination to welcome your guests. And this is where I'm sitting right now. Lastly, I wanted to share with you that each chef and one of our mixologists from the Mayflower has shared with you their own personal recipes. The Mayflower Inn Spa, our mixologist shared with you an apple pie whiskey sour. Chef Matt from the White Barn shared a broccoli and cheddar veloute. And Chef Halston from the Vanderbilt shared a flash fried Brussels sprouts with local apples and apple gastrique. I want to thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity to present our hotels. I love the enthusiasm you have brought to today's presentation. I think we have some winners, Gale.
Okay, unshare real quick and we can.
Yeah, and please let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to take them now. Or if you'd rather email privately, I'd love to share more.
Elaine, I wonder did you send the recipes to Whitney? We'd love to distribute those recipes.
Yes, she did. But that was one of those elements. It just kept getting bigger and bigger. So I will be glad to share those with anyone who's interested. You know, we do these each week. And when we have properties that have just so much going on and some other things that we just have to sort of edit sometimes. So I'll be glad to share those recipes with anyone who wants them. They look absolutely delicious.
And I'd like to add, again, thank you. And just know that they're in the New England area, if you're familiar with it, there are so many of these estate-like resorts or inns to go to. There is a lot of them. And there's a lot of great ones. But I think what we bring to the table is we're each unique and has its own character. However, you have that backing of the Auberge brand. So with that, you're not taking any chances, although it may be lovely. You have that backing of Auberge that you know, not only safety, for safety reasons, and especially in this new environment, but also for the culinary, for the service levels. You've got that backing of the Auberge chain, which really makes ours unique and special. So,
right.
Sorry.
Sorry, I wanted to mention to Elaine, so often when these things come across our radar, particularly the more small and intimate inns in the New England area, because they're historic and they're in these traditional little towns, but we don't often get such detailed ideas about the special things you can do for groups. And I just wanted to commend Elaine and Gale and the properties themselves for developing so many clever, creative ideas for theme parties and activities in the context of the types of facilities that you have. Whether you have exclusive use opportunity or if it's just a small group of 10 or 15 rooms, those are super unique activities. And I applaud you for your creativity and for sharing.
Oh, thanks.
Thank
And
you,
it's really
Carol.
important. It's really important these days to have things people want to know, especially if they're going to try to stay on property. You know, you've got to create an experience. And so you want to be able to do the thinking for them, because now we all have to come together with a new plan.
That's correct. That's right.
Gail and Elaine, Bonnie wants to know, do you have a private airstrip near any of the properties?
So the Mayflower does have, for private planes, they do have something about 10 minutes. So a private helicopter can land there as well. Yes. And we could pick somebody up from that. It's like a field. It's nothing like a formal, but it's like for small planes and helicopters. Yes. And I think in these times, what I have learned, when I first joined Auberge in the midst of all this craziness, I did book a buyout, an 8-day buyout. And, I was very confident about selling it, but I was just like, wow, how is this going to work? But we had there's 35 rooms at the Mayflower, and we created a bubble. We all tested. They had the staff all tested for COVID. We did it every 3 days. We had all of the guests, and we created this bubble, and they all stayed on property for 6 of those 8 days. They bought it out 2 days prior. But what was really interesting is we created, they had a meeting every day, but then we did a different experience in each of the rooms, indoors, outdoors. It was amazing what happened. And I think that is what we may see a lot in 2021.
Okay, one thing I'm noticing in the chat box, this is an aside. If you are donating for a raffle ticket, please put your email address
In the
in
amount.
the chat box right now. Okay, if you haven't done that, if you just said yes, $50, go ahead and follow up with that. So Carrie has your email address.
Yes, in addition to that, I'm sorry to interrupt, but also put the amount that you want to donate. If you want to add a $70 box, you'll go in there twice. If you've bid $100, you'll go in there twice. I see that a few times, but I see a few people that went, I want to do it, but they didn't tell us who or how much. So please make sure that we know that.
And so Elaine, one question I have for you is, it's fall and it's New England, and we're all in that we're all in the Hallmark movie kind of mode right now. We all want to be like wrapped up in a plaid blanket with a mug of hot chocolate with our loved one or whatever. But what are some other things during the year that we could look for at these properties, in the shoulder months? And, tell us a little bit about seasonality and what's going on in other parts.
As far as experiences, Whitney?
Yeah, or exactly. Just when, most of these are group people, and when they look at
for the White Barn, there were 27 guest rooms. And like this first time of year, it's more January, February, March is our quiet season. So if groups would like to come in and buy out the entire resort, it is a tremendous value to do so. July, August, September, the rates tend to get a little bit higher, but we're always looking and trying to fill. I mean, the White Barn doesn't need a lot of help, quite honestly. It is it's just such a well-oiled machine, but we are always looking for that midweek kind of business. And if you have a program or group during that time, there's tremendous value when you're going during the week. July, August, September, I mean, there's so many summer activities, being outside. But even in the winter, as I shared with the experiences, Chef Matt does the cooking classes, the chocolate making. I mean, it is really hands-on, and he's very involved. I would say the same thing with the Mayflower, like that first quarter, but there's snowshoeing, there's cross country, the spa does all of these activities. And then as you get into summer and the fall and the holidays, I mean, it remains very, very busy.
Okay.
Elaine, the thing that came up for me, and maybe you could help us with distance. I think it would be super fun to do a New England road trip for a group. How far apart are each of these facilities? Because I'm thinking, a 6-night program with 2 nights in each place might be a super fun idea for those people who not ready to be on a cruise ship right now, as an example. I think that would be kind of fun to explore. What is the distance involved between the 3?
So if you started, let's say in like the White Barn, and if you went to Connecticut, it's about 3 hours, 3.5 hours. From Connecticut to Newport, it's about 2 hours. So they're all, it's like a sort of like a big triangle. They're very easy. And we have found people want to get in their cars and just get away.
Mhm.
And
Well,
even,
it's a picturesque part of the country. So if if you wanted to run a program where everybody has a rental car,
Mhm.
nice rental car, and they flew into either Boston or Newport, or yeah, Providence, I guess, and just went to the 3 properties, that I think that would be a really cool idea for a program. So
it is. And I will, and I hope I conveyed, each resort really, really provides its own unique experience. They're all very different.
yeah,
We focused on that a lot this year when we saw that this pandemic was taking over as a company. And we did some driving. We curated driving trips in Napa in California. So you could to drive up. We even partnered with other hotel companies and other venues. Say start here and work your way up through Napa and with the Northeast. So it's something that has come up, and we've worked with some car clubs with these guys who or
right.
ladies who have these great cars and want to get on the road to make a path and make a map and, get out on the open roads. It's good. It's really popular right now.
I mean, even if you had a car and driver, a vintage car of some sort, what a cool idea that would be, like very Gatsby-ish. Okay, where can I create your programs for you people? Get busy. Call Elaine, call Gale, call us. We'll help you out. All right.
All right. Jan is asking, can someone send me e-collateral on each of the 3 resorts? I have a client that meets 2 times a year in small, unique, boutique style hotels, especially interested in being drivable. So
yeah, okay.
I would love to.
Okay.
Yes.
That's
Let me
great.
know.
Dan Levine is asking for that. So if one of you could just send the information to her, that would be great.
So Elaine, that information is Jan Levine, and she's in the chat box right now. So if you let me know, and I can put you in touch with her, or I can give you her email address. Okay.
Okay, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Jan.
Anybody else?
But we've, just to make a point, if you have clients or like I have a client out of Houston, but she has an office in New York, and they had to cancel all of their trips, but they wanted to do something. They weren't allowed to fly. They weren't allowed to do this. So they just moved their board meeting of like 10 people. They got in their cars and they drove to Mayflower. And it's, it's kind of thinking outside the box, and especially some of these C-level, the company may be saying don't travel, but they are about to lose their mind and they can't do Zoom anymore. So I've been told. And so, when you have something like this, we can say there's 30 rooms, you're going to have 10 of them. No one else is going to be on the property as far as the meeting space. It's a great thing, for them to get in their car and drive and still have that experience of getting away without getting away. So there's lots of those offices up there, in those areas that this is drivable for some of your people or even your regional offices. It's a really good alternative.
That's what we love about you and your collection, Gale, because we've talked about this before. The intimacy of the Auberge resorts in general are very conducive to that idea of exclusive use and having your own space and being able to control the safety protocols. So, and they're so glorious. The properties are everywhere they are in the United States. They're glorious. So we're grateful for you. All right. Well, before we get into show and tell, I wanted to do a last call on the wine to water auction. $50 for a filter for a family in the Navajo Nation, or $70 and or $70 for a Thanksgiving box for a family in need from the hospitality industry. I'm going to give you 5 more minutes to do that while we announce our first 5 today, and then let you show and tell. Kelly's on the call now. I want all of you to voluntarily come on, tell us how you're dressed, tell us your story of your costume, tell us what you're grateful for this year, tell us if you're going home for Thanksgiving or how Thanksgiving might be different. Before we do that, I'd also like the following people to be sure that you email me your physical mailing address. You are one of the first 5 to come on today, and Gale and Elaine have for you a spa gift from the Mayflower. So I can't wait to see what that is. And those are going to Jan Levine, Patrina Lawrence, Mary Hogue, Kim Savransky, and Judy Jin. please email me at carol@retreatsresources.com with your physical mailing address tomorrow or tonight. Okay, who wants to go? Do I have to call you out like an elementary school lady?
Carol,
I'm going with you. There we
Katrina's
go.
ready. Here we
Yeah,
go.
I'm gonna go because Pocahontas here, my dinner guest, is getting real antsy. She's so rude. But anyway, so my family is so fun, and we usually have about 40 to 50 people that gather for Thanksgiving. Obviously, we can't do that this year, and we literally dress like this on Thanksgiving Day. We have pilgrims and we have Native Americans, and you know, I don't have the hat that my husband usually wears, but I mean, it is such a hoot. We have the best time. So I'm really grateful for my family, even though I'm sad that, you know, we just won't be able to do that this year. But, you know, it's more important to take care and keep people safe. So that's what we're doing.
Are any of your kids coming home, or is it just going to be you and your husband?
Yeah, no, we'll have our boys here. Our daughter will not, she's going to be with her husband's family this year. So it'll be a very small group, but we're grateful for what we have, right? And I'm grateful for this group too, Carol and Whitney. You guys keeping us together and connected it's awesome. So,
Well, I want to take this opportunity to say that Whitney and I have gotten as much joy out of this as you guys have. We truly, truly couldn't be any more grateful for all of you, for this community, and for the laughs and the joy and the curiosity that you bring to us every week. So God bless all of you. All right, who else wants to show off? Kevin, maybe?
I want to know what Kevin has on. I believe I know, but I want to be sure.
Hi, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving. I was just
I
thinking
love
about,
it.
I was thinking about
Yes.
pioneers in New England are the fishermen. So I came dressed as a fisherman.
A lobsterman.
You did.
So I'm ready to go. But we also have oyster stuffing on Thanksgiving, and we do lobster. So we're kind of non-traditional, but and of course, you know, the ocean spray cranberry juice and ocean spray cranberries, of course, is very New England. But
Kevin, well done. Well
I'm
done.
very grateful for.
Wow, that's really good.
Thanks.
Kevin, I have a question. I
Fishing
always,
is bad.
oh my gosh.
Oh, Kelly, you're going to have your work cut out for you today.
That's commitment. Yeah.
Kevin, I have a question for you. I always burn the fish sticks on the bottom. Can you tell me what I'm doing wrong?
I am the Gordon's fisherman, yes.
You couldn't be any more adorable today, Kevin, honestly.
Thank you. I'm grateful for my family, and I'm grateful for kindness in the world, and looking forward to 2021 for the success for all of us and joy. So happy Thanksgiving and happy holidays.
Happy Thanksgiving, Kevin.
Happy
It's
Thanksgiving, Kevin.
nice.
Who else?
Kimberly, what do you have going on?
All right. Is it that Kimberly or me?
That's you.
Me? Okay, sorry. I have no makeup on. I think I would have been a spinster had I been born in this time. Look at your bonnet. I have a Bible. I have an antique watch. I have a compass thingy. I have a hoy. I have a hat for my husband. I have some maize, a rolling pin in case he misbehaves, a pot to make my medicine in with my, metal kind of thing, a globe, and my pumpkins.
Oh my God. Kimberly is the queen of props. She has got props for every single occasion. I'm actually
I'm
reading.
convinced she must host every family
That is
holiday at her
unbelievable.
house, right?
Mantle's already
Yes.
going.
And high tea.
Yes, yes. So this year, we're having a really smaller group. It's just going to be my children and their spouses, but my grandbaby's coming, so I get to see her,
Aw.
Adorable.
Yay. Awesome. Thank you.
and I'm grateful.
Bonnie, what do you have going on? Oh, sorry. Sorry, Kimberly.
No, I'm just
grateful.
grateful we're all healthy. So
Yeah. So far, so
Yeah.
good.
I
Happy
went,
Thanksgiving. Look at you. Oh, yes.
I went with Native American because it's actually in my blood. So I figured it was appropriate for me. And I am grateful for, I just got back from Mexico and did a tour basically around Mexico to check out the protocols and safety protocols down there for some properties for some clients. And so it was really good to be back on the road and just back with the living, like I felt like I was living again. So it was great to see that. But our family Thanksgiving is very small because the city of Chicago has closed us down and the state of Illinois has really closed us down again. So it's literally just like our immediate family, which is actually our normal immediate family is 25. And so we're only at like 4 now. So
That's going to be a big change for you.
But it was good.
Yeah. That's great. And did your grandma teach you how to paint your face like that, or do you just know this? Because
no, it was like I'm probably like 5 generations out, so it's in my blood, but like it's not something I like really.
You weren't born knowing how to do that, right?
No.
Do you have any?
It looks great.
Yeah, it's authentic. Do you have anything you're particularly grateful for this year, Bonnie?
I am grateful for just my family and for our health. We made it through this crazy year with my husband going through cancer, and he's healthy right now. He's cancer free. So that was just the biggest hurdle between COVID and everything else, that he was able to get through COVID and getting cancer free after a major surgery. So
that's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Yes.
Definitely something to be thankful for. All right. Anybody else?
I know there are other people out there that are thankful for something, y'all.
Hi, it's Lori Meacham.
Hey, Lori.
Hi. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving to you. You look beautiful today.
Oh, well, I'm a little pilgrim with my wagon all filled with vegetables and pumpkins on my way to Thanksgiving dinner. However, our Thanksgiving dinner will be very small. We've hosted Thanksgiving in this year. Sadly, because of Colorado having high numbers, we're not going to get together. So we'll have to Zoom call and FaceTime. But I am very, very grateful, like everyone, for family and friends. And for you all. You have just sparked a lot of joy in our life, and appreciate it so much.
Mutual. I assure you it is very mutual. Thank you. And happy Thanksgiving to you and Randy. Can we see Randy? Can he speak up? He's looking good today too.
Randy looks like a Cadbury turkey background is what's going on there.
That's a good one.
Randy, where are you?
I think Randy's on mute right now.
He's on mute.
Chocolate coma.
He's being attacked by the turkey.
Okay, here I am. Hi, guys.
Hey, Randy.
Hey, Randy.
Hey, you know, I think the brilliance of last minute figuring is not really what you're seeing, but is the technical behind the scenes. As I'm sticking my phone back in a gift I got from DoubleTree Hotels, like, I don't know, 10 years ago. It was a cookie mug of their cookies. Where'd my little buddy go? Where'd my CEO go? I don't know where he went, but come here. And anyway, I got this tin and I've kept it. I have cords and stuff in it. At the last minute, I couldn't get my virtual background to work on my large screen. And my battery was on almost empty on my iPhone, which I'm using. And I thought, well, how do I get this standard cord to fit on my stand when it's coming out of the bottom of the iPhone? So I popped the top of my DoubleTree cookie container and stuck my phone in the cookie container. So that's how I'm seeing you all. So anyway,
that's hilarious.
Cookie,
happy
that's
Thanksgiving
good.
to everybody, and certainly grateful for just friends and family and our country and the world and what we're all going through. And I think it's bringing out, even though the news sometimes does not suggest it, and it gets me down too, it brings out a lot of joy and good in people. And And as Lori just mentioned, doing this every week when I can have time to do it, it's really been something to look forward to. And it brings a lot of creativity and joy in our life because we all get kind of stuck being around our home offices all the time. So thanks, everybody.
Yep.
Thank you, Randy, for bringing it every single week. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And happy Thanksgiving.
Randy.
Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
I want to hear from Kathy West, although she's not dressed up today. Kathy, what are you guys doing for Thanksgiving?
Well, you know, I'm cooking. And we started out with just immediate family, 7 people. And then we got some more phone calls from immediate family who doesn't cook, so they want to come here. So that's why I'm not dressed today. I've been on phones with brothers and sisters and mothers, and you know the drill. So I'm very thankful that they're all healthy. A lot of my family has already had COVID and they're COVID free. So we're not afraid to gather with them, shall we say. But I am really thankful for this group. It keeps me in the loop. It keeps me talking to people I dearly love each week. And, you know, Carol and Whitney, you know, you're my, you know, so you're in my heart. And I get up every morning and I pray that everybody stays healthy. I've fortunately or unfortunately only lost one friend to this terrible disease, but I pray every day that God will find a way to eradicate it, and it looks good with some vaccines. So happy Thanksgiving, everybody, and shout out to Doc. It's always good to see you and your good works. You know, God bless you. So yeah, happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
I love you. You have brought more laughter to my house than anybody I know other than.
I'll dress up next week, I promise.
You don't even have to. That's just you. Who else wants to express any gratitude or traditions before we wrap up? Anybody else?
We have a tradition at our house, and we stole it from a friend who did it, but they feel like Thanksgiving is the start of Christmas, so they give a gift to every single person who comes. And so that it's not an expensive gift, everybody gets a pair of Christmas socks. And that means, so this year I had to buy infant Christmas socks and toddler Christmas socks and grown-ups, men and women, and it's just fun. We oh, my husband was bringing me, I've wrapped all the girls. but I have a huge socks assortment of men's Christmas socks that I have to wrap. So you just draw from a basket and you can trade or keep whatever you get. So that's our tradition.
That's a great idea.
I love that.
Yeah. Everybody, you know, we are going to have a virtual Christmas party on December 23rd. Y'all mark your calendars. Bring your traditions, bring your cookies, bring your recipes, bring your husbands. All of our hotels from Real Time Retreats will be invited to be there. Doc, of course, will be there. Right, Doc? And yeah, so it's going to be super fun. We're having our own Christmas party. Who needs to travel? Right?
In my family, we call that Christmas Adam because Adam came before Eve. All right, so we have Carrie Mace on the line with us, and well, should we do Kelly first? Kelly Mack?
Yeah, we could do Kelly first and then Carrie, and
Okay.
then I want to announce what we're doing next time we gather. We will not be here next week, but the following week we'll be back with our real-time retreats. We're going to shift gears a little bit before the holidays start for real, and we're going to have as our guest a couple of folks from the One Hotel group. If you don't know about One Hotel, this is a brand that was envisioned by Barry Sternlicht, who was the creator of the Starwood brand. And he's really putting his money where his mouth is as it relates to fully sustainable hospitality in very chic and very beautifully designed hotels. So we have someone from One Hotel South Beach and One Hotel Brooklyn, possibly the new one in Central Park as well. And we're going to be talking about purpose and how to operate, or some examples of perfectly luxurious and beautiful, but highly sustainable hotels. So please join us for that next session, week after next.
All right.
Now, Kelly.
So Kelly's going to take it away.
Hi.
Thank you.
We're grateful for you, Kelly, in case you didn't know that.
I'm so grateful for y'all. I mean, really, thank you. I appreciate this group very much. I echo what everyone else said. And yeah, it's certainly the bright spot in my week. And the thing that, like, when I'm on my team calls and everybody's like, oh, I had all this like boring stuff this week. I'm like, well, I went to, and like this week I'll get to say the Northeast, and we celebrated our founding fathers. And so I'm very grateful for this group. Thank you, Carol. Thank you, Whitney. And Doc, thank you as well, because especially during our retreats resources event a couple weeks ago, I love watching the videos and the things that you allow us to do, participate with your organization. And I don't know if I missed this at the beginning, I'm so sorry, but every time I log on to Amazon on my computer, I log on to amazon.smile.com.
Yes.
And
for that.
Yeah, and you covered that?
No, please do it.
Oh, anyway, it was pretty huge actually, because the amount of money that, yeah. And so anyway, so you can pick a charity on smile.amazon. It doesn't cost you anything. You just order like normal, but you can choose a charity, and Amazon donates a portion of those sales from your account to that charity. And so Wine to Water is mine. And I know it's kind of a little thing, but at the same time, like I'm like, oh, this is great. I get to make a difference. And it's a couple $100 a year, right? Like on all of our Amazon purchases. And so thank you, Doc. Thank you, Carol, for that opportunity.
Yes, no, we've all become professional shoppers in the last 6 months, and I'm sure my donation is considerable, Doc. So yes, everybody, smile.amazon.com and select Wine to Water as your charity. I know they would appreciate that. All right.
So thank you very much. And there are some really great outfits today, and I really like everyone's take on founding fathers. And there are just, some awesome creativity. I think though that there really has to be like an over the top. Anytime you can get a cat to wear anything. So Patrina, you are certainly the winner this week with Pocahontas, with the headdress, and the fact that it stayed on her for the call is just amazing. Thank you. That certainly made me giggle.
That has a bonnet in their wardrobe, my heart goes out to them. Mama don't do Puritan. I couldn't find a thing to wear.
I know, Kimberly too, right? I was just like, oh my gosh. But
yes, where you got those bonnets, I'm not quite sure, but.
And Bonnie looks great too. Yeah, some great outfits.
Yeah, and she's like a 13-week-old puppy, so she did really well. Yeah.
She's a puppy.
You could see her eating out of her hand. Yeah.
Oh, you don't win after all. We thought you harnessed a cat, a puppy.
Look at that.
Puppy. I don't know. Oh, she's cute.
She's so sweet.
She looks great in feathers.
All right, before that puppy gets carried away, Patrina, please take a selfie. I would love to get selfies from all of you, but I am particularly interested in Kevin, Kimberly,
yes, Kevin,
Andy and Lori, Bonnie, whoever else is dressed up. Please, I beg you, if I have great content, we can do a great post tomorrow to support Gale and Elaine. If I don't have any content, then it's kind of lame. So please, please, please. It's not vanity. Email me, text me your pictures, your self pictures. So Carrie, how did we do? You have a number?
Yeah, Carrie brought the bucket over to me, and we got a list. I believe we're right at 20. We're at about 19 families, and it looks like the breakdown is at 16 Navajo families that are going to get water filters that will last 10 years, which is awesome. And we've got 3 Thanksgiving food boxes going to families here, which is awesome. Total, it's right almost exactly at $1,000, which is amazing.
Wow. That's amazing for an afternoon's work.
That's what happens when you bring people together. You know, it may not seem like a lot to support, $50 here or there, but together cumulatively, it makes such a massive, massive difference. So I can't say thank you enough. And so Carrie was awesome. She wrote little pieces of paper on everybody as they were coming in. She folded it up. We've got it in our nice Wine to Water bucket here. So do y'all want me to, are we ready for the drawing? Is it time for the drawing?
Time for the drawing. Big drum roll.
We have Kevin Eastman.
Oh, Kevin! That fisherman outfit was worth it after all.
Yes.
Congratulations. I hope you'll take advantage of this because those places are glorious. I'm actually going to hit Gale and Elaine up so that me and Marina and Whitney can go on a road trip visit all of them. We want to come see you.
Anytime you want to come on a road trip, Carol, you're
Like
welcome.
Anytime.
Tomorrow, like tomorrow.
Organized, baby. I'm there.
Well, Kevin, congratulations. We can't wait to host you at one of the New England hotels.
Thank you.
Elaine and I'll be back in touch with you, but just
Elaine.
thank you all again. And thank Carol and Whitney and Doc and Elaine. And we're just thankful for you guys and for keeping this going. And it certainly does cheer up my week. And I really needed it this week. So thank you very, very much. Very
Well,
much.
I was grateful for one person this year that I have added to my speed dial. It's you, Gale.
Keep calling. Keep calling.
Okay, I will. All right, everyone. Whitney, did you want to say Thanksgiving blessings to people, or do you have any message for anyone before we go?
You know, as a company that is one of many out there who do what we do, I just want to say thank you to the people who are loyal to us and who say, you know, nice things to other planners and other industry associates. We've built this company. Carol started this company with relationships. I've joined her and I hope that I've expanded that with relationships, but that's what we have built this on. And I can't tell you how much we appreciate you. Cannot tell you how much it means when you email us and say, you know, I'll be there. And people, you know, coming out of storms and you know, weather things and things with their family, but they're committed, and we just truly appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. Marina, before we go, would you like to say happy Thanksgiving and hello? And
she had to go because of Charles. So her husband's sick right now, and she had to sign off. But
okay, her picture's still there. All right. Well, she loves you too, everybody. So have a blessed Thanksgiving. Be sure to give thanks